Well, here we are with the MXTV project bikes, a 2014 KLX250F and a 2014 KTM 350 EXC-F. Now the project on the KTM was to build a reliable enduro bike. Now I started off with a pair of Renthal handlebars. The reason for that is if you do have an accident in the bush, you don't want your handlebars to bend or break so that you can't get back to your car. From there I bought a pair of PDS bar mounts. Again, this gives you a much more comfortable ride so you don't get fatigued so easily on those long rides. And of course, if you do have an accident, they don't twist as easily as maybe the stock ones do. I got a front brake disc cover from KTM Power Parts. Again, this is just in case a rock flicks up. It just gives it a little bit more protection because you always want your brakes to get home. Going down to the back of the bike, I started off with a KTM rear sprocket, again for that durability. And also a KTM TM Designs chain guide kit, again with durability in mind. Of course, Chad from Chad's Off-Road looked after the suspension department on the bike, and our good mates down at Raptor sent us a pair of Enduro Raptor titanium pegs. Now the Raptor Enduro pegs have got a bigger opening in them so that the mud flows through it a lot easier and it's a lot easier to unclog them. Put a set of SKF wheel seals in it to keep the mud and the dirt out of it for longer lasting bearings. Now the sticker kit was personalised for me with MXTV on it and some of the sponsors' logos on it, and it really come up a treat. Everybody loves bling, so we put a little bit of KTM bling on it. And our good friends down at Pro MX made us a fantastic clutch cover. Let's now have a look at the KLX250F. Now the project on this bike was completely different. This was a bike that I wanted to get stock standard and not spend a lot of money on this bike whatsoever. So all I've done to this bike is put parts on it that I think that I really needed on the bike for me to go racing and to go riding. Now the first thing that I started with was levers. I bought some States MX levers. They're fantastic. They move not only up and down but in and out, so you really can't break them if you do fall off during a moto. The other things that I added to this bike were parts that I had on my 2012 KLX250. A Pro Circuit pipe and muffler, some Raptor foot pegs which just gives you that bigger base to stand on and a lot more extra grip, and we put a braking front disc brake on as well. Now the one thing that I did notice that wore very quickly on this bike was a stock chain. I think within 3 hours it had done its job. It was stretched and you couldn't use it anymore. So I went and got an RK520 chain, whacked that on. I know I'll get a lot more life out of that chain. Other than those few parts, all I've done to this bike is put some race numbers on it and rode it at club meetings and gone practicing on it as well. I've done nothing else to it. It's stock standard. Even the suspension is standard on this thing, and I'm having an absolute ball on it. Now the series is almost ending, but we're gonna have these bikes for 2014. So keep watching the MXTV Facebook page, YouTube page and website for updates on what we do to the bikes. I'm gonna keep riding this stock standard and see what breaks. This one we might see what else we can put to it to make it more durable through the Enduro series. And don't forget, if you've got any ideas on the project bikes, why don't you post us a comment on the MXTV Facebook page.